You're listening to Out of the Box with Rosie Tran. If you guys enjoy us, don't forget to click subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher. I'm here today with Champ Chong, the YouTube celeb. How are you doing, Champ?
I'm pretty good. YouTube celebrity?
Yeah, that's what you are.
I don't think so.
Kind of.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Nah.
You are.
In the Australian gaming community.
You are a huge YouTube celebrity. You are. You have over 300,000 subscribers, right?
More now.
How many?
460 something thousand.
Okay, that's considered like a YouTube celeb, I think.
I don't know. It's strange. It's strange to hear.
How would you describe yourself then?
A gaming entertainer.
Okay.
Yeah, gaming entertainment personality. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds way more complicated than YouTube celebrity.
Okay.
Gaming entertainment personality.
Yeah, it's really strange. Like when I was flying over here, every time I fly over, like you have to fill out the customs thing, and it says like what your job is, job title, and I'm like,
and you're like, I'm the party starter of video games.
I just write entertainer, but that could mean.
Oh my god, my dog is, as usual, always featured in every episode, barking at least once.
Yeah, but entertainer could mean so many different things.
You could be a male stripper.
Exactly. That's what my mum said. She's like, she saw me filling out the thing, and she's like, "What the hell?"
She's like, what is entertainer? I put entertainer a lot on forums. I don't travel internationally as much as I used to, but I put entertainer on forums because I don't like saying stand-up comedian because I do a bunch of other stuff. Like I'm an actress, I have a podcast. So I just put entertainer, and one of my girlfriends said the same thing. She's like, entertainer. She's like, that sounds kind of like you're like a burlesque dancer. Yeah.
It could mean anything. Yeah. It's crazy.
So how did you get into this? You're so young. You're only 22 years old, and it seems like you're, making big waves in the gaming industry. So what made you decide, hey, I'm going to start doing gaming videos?
I was in high school, like the final year of high school, and I was actually I was graduating everything. Like I was going to go to university, but then
So what were you planning to study?
Video editing and things like that. So
something similar to what you're doing now. Yeah.
Exactly, but not to the extent where I'd be traveling around the world playing games and making videos and editing all that, but more just to Hollywood, I guess. So to movies and all that stuff. But then I didn't know if I really wanted to do that because I saw especially in Perth, Australia, the you couldn't really get a job for that. It's really difficult to get into. There's probably 7 jobs, right? Or I could become a cameraman for a television station.
But what about they have Lord of the Rings and all these films and everything filming in that area. I mean, not Australia.
That's New Zealand.
No, but it's close enough. I know, but Hollywood is a world away, literally. New Zealand is what, a 2-hour flight?
From Sydney it is.
Yeah.
For me, because I'm on the West Coast, it's 6 to 7 hours.
Okay, but what was the flight to Hollywood?
From Sydney, it was 13 and a half hours.
Okay, so New Zealand isn't that much closer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It seems closer when I think about it in my American mind.
Yeah, but if you also include it's technically 19 hours for me to get here because I have to do a stopover. So
okay, so that's a full day away.
Yeah, exactly.
But they do have a big film industry developing over there.
Yeah.
And a lot of Australian actors actually get big over there and then come over here.
Yeah, or some people even skip going over there and they start right here. And I find that really awesome. If you've seen Wolf of Wall Street.
I haven't yet.
Oh, well, DiCaprio's wife in the movie, she's actually...
an Australian actress.
And I did not even know because she does that...
the American accent?
The Bronx accent or Brooklyn.
Accent.
Or, because additionally, it was easier for her to do that because we don't pronounce when we say car, Yeah, she can do...
It kind of sounds like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that Boston, accent. They say car, it's the same thing. So we don't pronounce that car, Yeah, so, it's really cool to see a lot of Australians coming over here straight away.
That's really cool. So, but what made you think, okay, I'm going to go, and just go into it?
So, I was doing the videos on the side, after school. So that's the thing. I decided not to go to university because I wasn't 100% sure about that.
Were your parents pissed?
No, because this is where it went to. I took an apprenticeship. So in Australia, I'm not sure what it means here, but basically I was getting paid while I was learning a trade.
Yeah,
so,
apprenticeship.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys had it here, but...
it's rare, but that's what apprenticeship is.
So it's like a 3-year course, and I'd be doing that. And about a year into it, my channel was starting to grow. I was getting millions of views. And I was like, Mom, Dad, after a year of that, because I went to Vegas for CES, and I was like... I don't know if I want to do this thing. I want to do my YouTube thing. I want to see where it goes because I just traveled across the world, met so many different people, and I'm getting to do so many cool things. And I look at the future down the line, I won't be able to commit to this apprenticeship because I'm going to be traveling, you know? And I have so many subscribers now that are asking, like, looking back, it's not so many subscribers, but back then it was just growing. And I was like, I really need to focus on that.
So what do you think, because, you know, a lot of people put YouTube videos up and they're really great quality and they just get no views, they get no traction, and they're like, what am I doing wrong? You know, I have friends that have 1 million views on one video, but then their other videos have like 300 views.
It depends on what you're doing, because it's such a different type of audience. Like, some people try short films, you know. They try to do like a 12-minute thing on there. It doesn't work because it's not engaging with a viewer.
Is 12 minutes too long?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so what do you think makes your... I've seen some of your videos and they're great, but I'm saying, what makes your video out of the millions of videos that people upload every day?
Yeah.
Do you think that you engaged people, made people say, hey, I like Champ Chong, he's funny, he's interesting, I'm going to subscribe? Because, you know, I watch a lot of videos online and I don't subscribe to them.
I think it's consistency. Like, right now I can't say that because I'm traveling, so like it's
How often were you releasing before?
It's Monday to Friday.
Every single day?
Pretty much. And sometimes Saturday if I'm like, Sunday actually, if I'm like okay, I can do an extra video. And it's something fun, so Sunday Fun Day, or Fun Day Sunday, whatever you want to call it. So, so it's pretty much every day. Depends. It's not like you're working every day because you can create 2 videos in one day for like something that you can release on the weekend or something. But yeah, it's consistency, quality, and just engagement with the viewer, because a lot of people just make a video, put it out there, but it doesn't feel like it's a two-way street. It feels like they've just created the content. It's like television. You're just watching. There's no real engagement. They try to do those Twitter tracker things on the bottom of the screen, like on the news. But with me, I have like a question that people like answer, and then they get featured in the next episode. So they keep coming back to see if they're going to be in the next episode
at
the end of the video. So
that's smart.
Yeah, so things like that. A lot of people do that. So that's who can succeed, is the people who understand their audience, and the audience just loves what the guy's providing. So
do you think that you're kind of becoming like a YouTube expert? Are people coming to you saying, Champ,
help
me?
That's the weird thing. I get that like almost every day. Like, can you give me some advice? And I'm like, it's really difficult because when I started out, it was such a different game. Like, it was completely different. Like,
so do you think it was easier when you started than it is now because it's so oversaturated with videos?
Yeah, it's so different, and YouTube's changed its system, the algorithms, everything. Like, it's so different now. It's ridiculous.
Do you know about that new algorithms?
Yeah, you kind of learn them here and there, like, but you never really understand it. It's a really complicated thing, but you figure out some things, how to just go beyond being average in that algorithm to like jump up the search rankings and things like that.
So what is the secret? I'm like I'm a 15-year-old kid. I have this video camera. I really want to make videos. I'm like, Champ, what advice do you give people? Because you're saying people are coming to your advice. What is something that's going to make someone jump from just an average viewership to like crazy?
Collaboration. Let's say you're at 500 subscribers, right? Find someone else that has 500 subscribers and does something similar to you. If you're doing video games, play video games with them, record your stuff, play together, and then you can grow together, because that person's got 500, you've got 500.
That's 1,000.
That's 1,000 because you're swapping audiences. Then you guys move together and find a guy with 1,000 or something like that. But don't force it. Make it natural, you know. Find someone that you can work with, and then eventually you'll grow and you'll start growing. Or you can get lucky and sometimes you just get a viral video because it's the internet and things happen, you know. That happened to me, like with my Slender Man video last year. I think it's at like 6 million views, and then the other one's at like 6.5 million, and I've got like some other videos at like 5-10 million, something like that. So sometimes you get lucky. It's not every day, but you'll get a viral video here and there.
Does that help your other videos? When one video goes viral, you kind of see numbers for other videos going up?
Yeah, definitely. Especially like you look where those numbers come from, and then you figure out, okay, they're in the Pacific time zone. I might start uploading to the Pacific time zone at 4 p.m. because people are coming home from work and school, and you focus on that target audience. So it's a lot to it. You got to look at the analytics and see where people are watching at what time and things like that.
Have you hired anyone to help you, or is this something that you're figuring out on your own?
It's all on my own. Yeah, everything. Planning a show every single day, filming and editing. It's all done.
What do you think about people who go out there and say, hey, I'm a YouTube specialist, I'm a marketing social media, blah, blah, blah. You know, all these new jobs are coming up. Do you think these people are scam artists?
No, technically I do have like people because I'm in a network.
Okay.
So basically they don't do anything from like production side of my show, but they go out like finding ads. So they'll find like a Pepsi, right? And they'll do like a brand deal with Pepsi, or I recently did one with KFC, and I was like, the pre-rolls that come up before videos, the ads? Yeah. I was one of those pre-rolls with KFC. So it's cool things like that you get here and there. That's what they can bring you, but they're not really going to change They
don't change your content.
Yeah, and there's no real scam artists out there. Just networks, really, at this point.
I mean, you don't think someone who, maybe there's someone who's an up-and-coming YouTube video creator, and there's people out there who are saying, oh, I'm a marketing specialist or I'm a social media specialist. You don't think, because I know people who have, paid for social media, what are they called? Like consultants. And they're like, okay, this person was an idiot. I could have figured this stuff out on my own. You don't think there's people out there that are like trying to...
Yeah, there's probably people out there. But you'd be really dumb to fall for it. Like... If you're really into what you're doing on YouTube... You
can figure it out on your own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you really want to succeed, you'll learn everything,
What about... so you're having people that are helping do, brand recognition with your channel. Are these people who came to you after your numbers started getting really big, or is this something that you pursued?
They came to me. So originally it was just one of those deals where it was like every now and then they'd come to me. Like I wasn't part of the network. It was just a deal where they'd come to me and they'd take like a percentage of that brand deal, just like any agent would.
Yeah.
And then eventually like I grew that relationship and I was like, let me see the contract you guys can offer for a network partnership. And I was like, that's pretty good. So I ended up signing with them. So it wasn't the thing like right away. That's one thing I tell people. If you get offered like a partnership for a network, don't sign right away. See what other places can offer, And that's what happens a lot. Like people sign right away. They're like, oh, I can make this much. And they're screwed. They're in like a contract for like 5 years. And
then if their viewership grows, then they're stuck.
Yeah, exactly. You're stuck on that base contract and you're stuck with that, which means that the ads in 5 years, the ad revenue could be going up, like the CPMs. So what you're making per 1,000 views, the amount, like let's say Pepsi was giving $2, they could be giving $5, but you're still going to be getting $2 because you're stuck on that weird contract that you sign when you're like 1,000 subscribers.
So who gets the extra $3?
The guys that signed you up.
Oh,
exactly. So that's why they go signing a lot of people. There's like networks out there that sign like thousands and thousands of channels. That's why I like my network, which they've only got like a couple hundred or something. So, yeah.
So are they all video games or are they different?
No, they're all Australian, New Zealand based.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have had a partnership with YouTube early on, is that correct?
Yeah. So originally I was just with YouTube. I just had the base YouTube partnership. And that was great because it's just you and Google. There's no middleman like when you have a network. Mm-hmm. But eventually I was like, I'd rather get those extra brand deals and get those targeted ads that are targeted, like let's say there's a Halo ad or something. It plays on mine because my network's gone out and got that deal,
So you're kind of like a miniature NBC or CBS, right? You have your own channel.
Yeah.
You're playing all the content that you create.
That's a way to look at it, yeah.
Yeah, you're not having the giant corporate... I mean, obviously Google and YouTube are giant tech corporations, but you're not having, the corporate controls of, say, Universal NBC saying, no, Champ, you can't do this, you can't do that. You own all the content.
Exactly, and it doesn't really change. Like, if I've got something like this video has been sponsored by... It's not really going to change my content. It's just going to add to it. Because usually I'm going to give away something, Like, let's say it's sponsored by Pepsi or Red Bull or something like that. Especially Red Bull is a good one because it's an energy drink and gamers are always drinking energy drinks. So I'm going to give out maybe like 12 cases of Red Bull additionally on top of something else like they're promoting. So
are you doing this just to promote your brand, like the brand affiliate relationship, or is Red Bull just sending you free Red Bulls and saying give them out?
Red Bull. I had like a deal with a different energy drink in Australia, so I ended up getting like a fridge full of like a year's supply, and it was pretty cool. And that wasn't like they.
Did you give it away? Or did you drink the whole year's supply?
No. It's still sitting there, and I gave it to my friends and stuff. And then there's like, I gave away a bunch to like subscribers. So it was pretty cool, but it's not like they wanted me to, they didn't really say, you have to promote this. Like they didn't push me.
They just gave it to you.
Yeah, they're like, here's this, it's really cool because they're not really like pushing it, So it's really awesome, really.
Do you think you're getting kind of like the good end of the deal because the internet is still kind of like this Wild West area where people don't understand it? Corporations and brands, they're getting into it, but they don't really understand the internet.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really strange place at this time. I look at it and I'm like, am I getting ripped off here? Like sometimes, because it's like, could they be offering more or like something like that? And I look at other people, I'm like, what are they? And like, you don't really know at this point, you know?
Well, okay, so what is the video that you have that has the top views? What is the highest amount of views you have?
I think it's like that one of those Slender Man videos.
That's like 6 million?
Something around there, yeah.
So that is like, and how long are your videos usually on average?
4 or 5 minutes.
4 or 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, I think that one was about 3.5.
So that's a 3.5 minute video.
Yeah.
You have about 6 million views on it. That, if you really think about it, that's more than like some network shows, because some network shows are on, you know, maybe they get 20 million views, but it's a half-hour show and people don't really watch the whole episode.
Exactly.
And people are sitting there zoned out, maybe doing homework or doing something else while they're watching the video. You have a 3.5 minute video, which is usually probably watched from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And you have 6 million people who sat there and paid attention to it, instead of usually when people are watching TV, it's in the background, they're not paying attention. You know, a couple people have their favorite shows and stuff like that, but in general, a lot of people play the TV just for noise.
Yeah.
Right? So your 6 million eyes are actually might be worth more. So I don't know if you're getting ripped off, but it's still unknown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of weird because I look at it like this. Television, you've got, let's say you're watching Grey's Anatomy. They could be getting some sort of deal in there so that the doctor's drinking a certain brand of water. You know?
Yeah, and they do that and it's bad because sometimes they zoom in on the freaking label. You're like, okay, that's obvious.
Exactly. But I could do a deal where I'm doing something that's with a game and I don't have to hide it, you know? I can be straight up with my audience, be honest, and it's engaging because I'm talking to the camera and I'm in my own living room. I'm not on some set, nothing like that. And I'm offering them a better deal yet. That show that gets like how many views?
Like 20 million, let's say.
Yeah, exactly. That's 20 million is getting way more than something that would get 1 million if it did get 1 million on my channel.
And your production cost is like almost nothing, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's just man hours.
So listen to me, advertisers. You need to be giving Champ more money because
give me more money.
You need to give him more money. He's saving you guys millions of dollars in production costs per viewer, right? I mean, honestly, you are. Think about it.
I'm not here to like say, hey, this brand, give me money. But it's kind of like weird that they don't look at it like, because it's still really early. It's completely understandable. It's such a new thing. It's only like 7 years old or something at YouTube, 8 years old. So I completely understand it's a brand new form of media, but it's just weird that they're not.
No, Champ, I'm telling them to give you more money.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell a certain brand to give you more money. I'm telling them. I'm saying,
no, because the thing
listeners,
is,
email Champ's
affiliates.
Is,
like, you look at it like this, like if there is a brand deal, that helps the production. Like, I could do something really awesome for once, you know, like I could go and do I could go to an event or something like that where I could do something epic, and that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the production. That we did that with a G.I. Joe thing on one of the channels. Mm-hmm. And that was crazy because we ended up doing a scene with like race cars and like shootouts, and we did special effects, all this stuff that couldn't have happened if it wasn't for the deal. You know what I mean? Because normally you're not going to spend a few $1,000s on a 4-minute video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's even that, a couple $1,000s. I mean, there are music videos out there that are 3-4 minutes long that have $1 million budget, you know, $500,000 budget.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, have you seen some of these music videos where they're like, I mean, obviously.
But I see some of my friends that are like here in Hollywood that do music videos on YouTube. They're like artists and
they're doing it for really cheap.
They do it for like maybe $500 at the most.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm saying these you know, and I think that's why the old model's kind of crashing and burning, you know, because, you know, Universal Music or whatever, you know, is like, okay, they used to sponsor the artist and put all these upfront costs and wait for their return, and then maybe an artist would fail. And now they have all these self-starters who are doing everything on their own, like you, and businesses are like, wait a minute. But I think some of the old companies are still clinging to the old model, and you kind of see that because there is some still dismissiveness of the internet, you know, especially with podcasting. I just had this conversation with someone else where they were talking about, you know, a lot of advertisers are still dismissing podcasts. You know, even though Joe Rogan is getting 1 million downloads and all these people are getting 1 million downloads sometimes an episode, advertisers still are focused on the mainstream cable, mainstream media markets, and they're kind of like, whatever, and sweeping podcasts under the rug. But tech companies are very huge sponsors of podcasting because those people tend to be more progressive thinkers. And those types of advertisers like, hell yeah, I'm going to advertise on a podcast.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, I'm going to advertise on, you know, a YouTube channel because they get it. So there's still kind of this like old thinking versus new thinking. We're like in an area where things are like kind of collapsing and changing and moving in weird directions.
Yeah, we're in that transition phase.
Yeah.
We don't know where it's going to go. It's really strange.
We have no idea where it's going to go. And there's so many people who are just out there pounding the pavement trying to get their YouTube channel or their podcast or their whatever, you know, to blow up because it only takes, you know, like you said, one viral video. I know people that are legitimate celebrities because of viral videos.
Exactly.
You know?
For example, so this event that I'm here for is for a game by Electronic Arts. And one of the guys that got invited is from New Zealand, yet he's only at 50,000 subscribers, and he's a fairly new channel, but no, not fairly new, but he's pretty new, and he never really had any big videos. Now, recently, and he never really had any contact with like Electronic Arts or Activision, any game company, but recently he put out a video a couple weeks ago, and it's his biggest video yet, 100,000 views or something, and that's a lot for his channel. So, thanks to that video, he's been sent out here, and it's like that, and now he's made connections here with other YouTubers, other developers and things like that. So it's really crazy that just 100,000 views can get someone somewhere.
So that is crazy, and that's also amazing. And the thing about the internet is it's kind of leveled the playing field in that if you're making good content and you just keep putting it out there, like you said, you know, eventually it's going to get discovered. If something is really, really funny or interesting, someone's going to email it to their friends or Facebook to their friends and has the potential to go viral. Where back in the day, you could wallow in obscurity for years and years and years and years, and no one would know about your content. Because when you put something online, it's not... Say you wanted to do these videos and there was no such thing as the internet, right? You're like, I want to do funny videos. There were video games, right? So you're doing these video game videos and you showed it at your school and you know, you're still in high school. How many people went to your high school?
700.
Yeah, so 700 people is like the max amount of people that you could show it to. With the internet, I mean, you have access to billions of people.
Yeah.
So even if you're not, you know, you don't know what's going on, you can still pound the pavement and just keep creating content until, you know, something happens.
Yeah, and what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, man. I've lost...
Brain fart.
Yeah. I was going to say something. Oh, doesn't matter.
I'm just saying that it kind of levels the playing field in that really the only person holding you back is yourself.
Oh, I know exactly what I'm going to say. So, how I made my connections at first with game companies was by complete accident. So, have you heard of Grand Theft Auto 5?
I have heard of Grand Theft Auto.
That's made by Rockstar Games. And about 2 years ago, they released a game called LA Noire. And it was a game set in 1940s, 50s LA. And you're a cop. And it was really crazy. And I thought it was just the coolest thing because they use like this facial tracking stuff. And I was just amazed by it. So I featured it on one of my videos. Somehow that video managed to go viral. It had like 1 million views. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I'd never seen 1 million views on one of my videos.
It was one of your first viral videos?
Yeah, it was one of the first. And it was just a regular gaming news video that I do on like a Thursday or something. And it went crazy. It didn't go crazy right away, but it got like 150,000 views in a couple of days. And because I mentioned that and I linked the video in the description, Rockstar Games saw the traction. They looked at their statistics and were like, where are these views coming from? Because in like 2 weeks from like that point, it was already at like 500,000 views. So that meant they saw like 280,000, 300,000 people from my channel come over, like from that video that went viral.
Yeah, to that link.
To their trailer or whatever for the game. And they were like, how does this guy bring so much traffic? Then they invite me to come check out the game early. And because they invited other companies like Sony and Microsoft to like...
You got to network with all those people.
They wanted to show off their game to everybody. So I networked with them and then I connected with more. And that's how it is. Like, you don't go out there and try to force something to happen. You've got to just be natural with it. It's the internet, but also be professional to a point, you know?
And actually, that's how Justin Bieber was discovered. They were, someone was Googling another song that he did a cover for, and, then his video was passed on to, I think, Usher's manager, and, so forth and so forth. And now Justin Bieber's a big star. But I mean, I think that if you are out there just doing something, because I know a lot of people, not in gaming, but in film, because I live in LA, and they're like, well, I'm going to be a director. I'm going to be a director. I'm going to be a director. And, they haven't directed anything, and they work at, Starbucks. And it's not to insult them or say that there's anything wrong with that, but we're in an age where you literally have no excuse.
Yeah.
I had a friend that went to the Cannes Film Festival in France, and he said that there was short films submitted that were made on people's iPhones.
Yeah, exactly.
That were accepted. So nothing is standing in your own way at this point because of the internet, but your own ego. Because all these guys that are telling me I want to be a director, I want to be a film director, I want to be a film director, well, then go direct something.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to go a step above an iPhone, you can get a DSLR from Canon and a couple lenses and a microphone for like less than $1,000. And you can make a movie. You can make a movie on that.
You can. And with all of the editing equipment and Final Cut Pro and things getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, people have mainstream access to products that used to cost thousands and thousands of dollars. I remember I started editing in high school, and Final Cut Pro wasn't as big, and they had a machine called Avid Pro. It wasn't Avid Express. They didn't even have Avid Express. It was Avid Pro, and I volunteered at the local news station, and that's how I got involved with it. And to edit on this editing equipment, one editing bay cost $100,000. And this was back, I'm not going to reveal my age. No, you guys know my age. I've talked about it on the podcast. This was about 10 years ago. And now you can buy, Final Cut Pro for what? Like $500?
Yeah.
So there's literally no excuse.
I think it's even cheaper now if you get Final Cut Pro X,
You can also get a student discount, which is what I use to get the version I have. But I mean, you can... That's why I always keep my student ID, even though I'm not in school anymore. Okay, you know what? You can get a student discount. You can do whatever, and so there's literally no excuse except for your way of thinking. And I meet a lot of people like that who just have this negative way of thinking, and they say, "Well, I can't do it because X, Y, Z," and they name 10,000 excuses. And I mean, I'm a human being. I've done that too. When I first started up a podcast, so many people were like, you should do a podcast, you should do a podcast, you should do a podcast. And I had every excuse in the book. And the real reason I didn't do it is because I was afraid, well, no one's going to listen to my podcast and I'm not going to be very good at it. And, now I'm doing great.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to just tell that voice to be like, shut the fuck up.
Exactly. And then you just got to do it right away. Don't say,
you can't think about it too much.
Yeah,
right?
I'll do it on Friday. Like, that's not going to happen.
You have to just do it, right?
Exactly.
Right away.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is something I want to really talk to you about because you're out there, you have, you said 500,000 subscribers?
Yeah, almost, yeah.
Yeah. And this is something that people have a big fear about, and I want to know how you deal with it. So a lot of people on YouTube are great, and they're interactive, and they're fun, and there's a lot of haters who leave negative comments or random comments. How do you deal with that? Do you just ignore them, or do you engage in them?
You ignore them to a point, like, just the regular, like, you suck. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I'm like, okay, you're probably like 12 years old, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll just look at it and then look at the next comments. Like, this video made me laugh, something like that. So, I ignore like that stuff. But then sometimes, like recently, I've been transitioning and wanting to do extra videos like comedy, gaming, clips, funny stuff.
But I mean, does it... Okay, sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but does it help you to look at sometimes, like, are people giving constructive criticism?
Oh, yeah,
sometimes?
There's constructive criticism. But then, like, when I'm traveling, I can't do my regular show. Like, I tried to film it in the hotel room.
It doesn't work.
I'm right next to the elevator. So there's constantly people just talking outside. I'm like, nope, this isn't happening. So luckily, I had stuff prepared. It was pre-filmed content. And the people that gave the video a chance were like... This video is amazing. And it was funny because I was playing this game called Cat Mario, which is like, remember the old scroller Mario, not the new games, but just the old one, the 2D version, but with a cat. And it's like it's all in Japanese, and it's just an unfair game. So you end up just almost wanting to smash your computer. So people are just laughing at me. They're just laughing at me. Like I'm about to throw my mouse at the computer and stuff. And those people that gave the video a chance, they're loving it. The people that were like, this isn't the regular show, fuck you, that's kind of annoying and it's insulting because I I've gone to the extra effort. I could have come to LA and forgot about them, you know? But I said, no, I'm going to give them 7 minutes of entertainment, not 4 or 5 minutes of entertainment. Give them 7 minutes because I feel bad for not doing the regular show. And the people that watched it loved it. So those haters, sometimes I block them. I'm like, you can watch the videos, but you're not going to be subscribed anymore. Like, you can't comment anymore.
So you really block people. If they're being haters, you're like, fuck you.
No, if they're just like complete idiots. Like, because I bet that person, if they gave the video a chance, I'd say 75% chance they would have liked it, you know?
Well, some people just leave really weird comments. Like, I've talked about this before on the show, but it just bugs me because it's like, really, are you going to leave that comment? You know, I had a stand-up comedy clip that I put up there, and I talk about being married and dating and stuff like that. And some of the comments were like, who would marry her? She's so ugly. And then someone's like, she's really cute. And then I'm not kidding you, it broke out into a YouTube argument of whether I was hot or not. I'm like, are you guys even watching this video?
It's ridiculous. Yeah,
it's crazy. And I had other friends too who some of the YouTube comments, they're like, what are these people doing?
Oh, I've got one. So I just posted a video literally like 4 hours ago, and it was me filming in LA, like outside on Hollywood Boulevard, and I happened to wear a certain soccer jersey from the English Premier League, and it breaks out into like a war of comments like, that team sucks. And this guy's like, piss off, it doesn't suck. I'm like, watch the video. Like, I'm on screen for 10 seconds with this shirt. The rest of the 4 minutes, watch that. That's the part that you're meant to be watching. Like, it's me introducing the video that I'm putting on screen. And I'm like, are you serious? They're fighting over what t-shirt I'm wearing?
Some of these people, it's like, I think that the anonymity of the internet makes people think they can just say whatever bullshit crap they want.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's like, I think it would be hilarious if they had some type of thing where if you signed up for an account, it had to link to your email or your like school profile or something like that.
Or your Facebook.
Your Facebook or something. So that if you left a dumbass comment, people could look at you and see what you look like and be like, you're a fucking idiot.
That would be awesome.
Because I think people would watch what they say more and just realize. And I also think this is kind of like spiritual hippy dippy stuff, but I think the internet kind of reveals your consciousness level, because even if you're looking on Facebook, you can see what people are thinking about and where their level of thought is by what they're posting. Like if someone actually watches your video, like you said, and gives it a chance, and it's different than what you normally post, that's revealing about their consciousness that they're open-minded, right?
Exactly.
But the people who didn't give your video a chance at all and just, even though you know that they would like it and find it funny, but they immediately dismissed it, that's showing that they're closed-minded.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like kind of revealing that. And that's why I kind of get sick of Facebook, because sometimes I scroll down there and I see people posting about Justin Bieber or all this nonsense. And I'm like, really? Is that what's on your mind?
Yeah. Do you ever do this? Do you go on Twitter and you're about to tweet something and you look at it, you're like, nope. Like you write out the entire thing. You've written like 140 characters. You filled it up, and you even fixed it. But then you're like, nah, and you just delete it.
That has happened to me so many times, because sometimes I get really, really manic, and I use the internet as an outlet. Like I send out angry tweets, or I send out, and I just and I've done it before. And then sometimes I look at some of my tweets, and I'm like, my followers probably think I'm psycho.
No, but the thing is, when I type that thing out, let's say I'm angry, and I type that thing out, and I look at it, I'm like, okay, I got that out. Now I'll just delete it. I won't send it to anyone. Like, I feel like I got it out of me, you know? Yeah.
I think the internet is a way to do therapy for some people. I know I use it to vent all the time, but I have to watch what I post, because actually my mom isn't on Facebook, but my aunt is on Facebook, and my aunt tells my mom everything that I post. It's so annoying.
My parents are always on my Twitter. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. You probably saw a tweet about this podcast and you're listening right now.
And I don't mind that my parents, my dad's oblivious. I'm from a second marriage, so my dad is a lot older. So I don't think he really knows how to use everything. He knows how to use email. He's great with email, but he doesn't really know how to do anything else. My puppy's whining. But my mom, she's kind of a troll. She's kind of an internet troll, and she's a total worrywart. So anytime I post anything, she gets really, 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 really worried about everything. So I kind of got to watch what I post. But I have done that where I've posted something and I've been like, maybe I should delete. I've even posted stuff and then deleted it after. Like, I should delete this.
I do that all the time. I do that all the time.
So how many conferences have you been invited to now?
This sounds
a lot.
Stupid. I've lost count.
You've lost count?
Yeah.
So how often are you traveling? Just like every month or every few months?
To like in Australia, within Australia, I travel at least once every 2 months. Depends, like, because like that's if you spread it out. Like once every month, realistically, if you spread it out. But because there's times of the year it's just ridiculous, and like especially the end of the year and the middle of the year, that's when it's crazy. Right now, I don't know why the hell I'm here. I guess they'll just because the game's coming out next
You're
month.
like, I don't know why the fuck I'm in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but I guess it was just they've released a game at an odd time, and I'm here. So, yeah, it's crazy. I'm always traveling, and I come to LA like 3 times a year. So it's pretty insane.
Are you getting recognized at all? Have you ever had someone come up to you and be like, Champ?
Yeah, it's happened in LA a few times, but it happens a lot in Australia because that's where like my
Your main fan base is?
hardcore audience, is. So
Does it feel weird?
yeah. It still does. Like, one guy was like from like a country town, and he tweeted me like he's in my city, and because I live right in the heart of the city, like downtown. So he was probably like 5 minutes walk from me, and I'm like, meet me. I'm going to Foot Locker. Meet me in front of Foot Locker while I'm doing my shopping. And he's like, okay, and he meets me. He's with his wife and stuff. He's like 30. I'm like, I thought my audience was like 20 years younger than that, but. Yeah, and he's really cool, and we just talked for like 5 or 10 minutes and stuff, and it was really cool because he had driven like 7 hours.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy!
They were there for like an Enrique Iglesias concert or something.
Okay,
like that.
It wasn't just to see you.
I think it's because it was like part of their honeymoon, or it was just like a gift that he was giving his wife because it's Enrique. So, yeah. So it was really cool to actually like meet someone that's a really different demographic, part of a different demographic.
But I mean, maybe your fan base it might be younger because of the video games. But I mean, video gaming is really like. I mean, if you think about the history of video gaming, it's not just for young kids.
Oh, no. The average age, I think, in Australia is like 29.
Yeah. I mean, my husband's 30, and he's a huge, huge gamer. He actually works at a video game company out here. And he's a huge gamer, and he's in the gaming culture and stuff like that. And video games have been around for a long time. I think a lot of older people, though, have an issue, and I actually have an issue with this, and I'm only 30, with some of the games, especially the first-person games, get too like intricate for me. I'm a Mario Kart girl.
Yeah. I get what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my husband will play, Modern Warfare or something like that, and I just get dizzy. I'm like, oh my god, I'm nauseous.
It's really fast paced and it's going all directions.
Yeah, I'm like, give me Super Mario Brothers.
I can play those, but like, I kind of stepped away from them. Like Grand Theft Auto, just drive a car, like steal it, and just do all the things you can't really do like in LA.
Well, we have some of the throwback apps too. Like we have some apps that you can play the old school 1990s games, and I love those because I am still bitter about this to this day, Dad, but I had requested the Little Mermaid video game, Nintendo game, when I was a little girl, and Santa Claus, quote unquote, was oblivious and bought me some stupid guy game. So
That's
my
unlucky.
husband downloaded the app for the Little Mermaid game, so now I can play it on my phone, and it turns your phone into a little Game Boy.
That's awesome.
It's really, really cool. Yeah. So I was a gamer back in the day, but everyone had the Super Nintendo or whatever, like back in the day. So, but it's really evolved.
One of the crazy things, like speaking of evolving, is that the last time I was here was August last year. So
was that when I met you or no?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I
You're like, I don't remember what city I'm in.
No. I think it was probably August. Yeah, it was. So I was here in August, and Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in September. Now, I've come back, and I've played so many hours of Grand Theft Auto, and that's based in Los Santos, which is Los Angeles. It's like a remodeled version. And
you feel like you know the streets out here?
I don't know all the streets, but it was surreal, like, looking at, like, I went down to the pier, Santa Monica Pier, and, like, it is just crazy, because I'm like, I've been here, like, a million times now. Like, I've done this and that. It's crazy to see a game be just like real life. And I'm thinking, how about in 10 years? Like,
what is it going to be like?
Yeah,
how
like, have you heard of the Oculus Rift?
No.
You put it on, it's like it goes
like
over
Google
your
Glasses?
face. No, it's like a big, like, you look like Cyclops or something, and it just goes over your eyes, and it's like, it's this weird
Where you can see the world of the gaming?
And then you like turn like left and right, and it's like you're a head, like on a body. It's in first person.
But do you think we're in a game now? Not to be.
Yeah. Oh my god.
No, I'm serious because
Like,
have you seen The Matrix?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So because stuff like that happens to me all the time. I've had so many surreal moments where I'm like, okay, this is creepy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, did you ever think when you were 15, 14 years old that you'd be traveling the world doing video games? Like, that's kind of surreal, right?
Yeah, it's real. It's just really crazy.
So it's like, what if we're in a game now? What if we're all, The Matrix? We're lying in our pods and this is actually a virtual reality.
It could be, And what if the pods that we're lying in are also like, actually, it's part of another video game and it just keeps going.
Oh my gosh.
It just keeps going, and it's like 600 parallel universes.
That would be really, really crazy. I mean, there's so many surreal things that have happened to me that I never thought I would be doing as a kid, or things, I sometimes I think I am in a video game.
Yeah. It's insane.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up soon. I would like to talk to you actually for a lot longer, but my dog is crying to go to the bathroom. And you got to catch a flight back to Australia.
Yeah.
So what is the craziest thing? I'm going to ask you two questions. So what is the craziest thing that you've experienced because of this YouTube channel?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
I mean, the travel, or was there one event, or did you meet a celebrity that you just like couldn't believe, or?
Because I'm a massive basketball fan.
Okay.
You can
be a basketball player. You're really tall. How tall are you?
Like 6'3", almost 6'4".
Yeah, and I'm a little Asian girl, so when you walked up to me, I'm like, wow, you're tall.
Now, I felt the same because I met Roy Hibbert and DeAndre Jordan. So they're 7'3" or something like that.
And you felt like a little mouse?
I was up to their shoulders, and it looks so funny in the photos. So something like that, just meeting the people that actually make the games, like the developers, like the main heads of studios. Just things like that, really. It's just insane. And also going to an event where it's just YouTube, like fans, and meeting like hundreds of people that want to take a photo with you. That's one of the coolest experiences ever. Okay,
so you're telling me that you don't consider yourself a YouTube celebrity, yet you're going to YouTube events and hundreds of people are wanting to take pictures with you. Come on, champ!
Like, I went to a charity event in Melbourne, and I tweeted out. I didn't make a video. I tweeted out, because it was my first time in Melbourne for like years. And I tweeted out, hey, I'm going to be at this place at this time. And all the kids after, because I said 4:30. And so all the kids after school showed up there, and it was like hundreds of kids there. It was ridiculous. It was like, I was just taking photos for so long, and eventually, like, I said, sorry guys, we got to take a group photo or something, because I actually had to get on a flight, and it was just crazy.
So, okay, I'm going to call you YouTube entertainer, since you don't like celebrity. Yeah. YouTube entertainer. Okay, and then the second question, advice. New kids wanting to make videos, wanting to make content, whether it's video games or anything else, what is the number one thing that you tell people that is really going to catapult them into taking action and just, creating their dreams?
You've got to do something different. Stand out. You can't do the same thing. If you see someone doing like a Grand Theft Auto funny moments, Call of Duty epic sniper clips or something stupid, you can't do the thing that's oversaturated. You've got to come up with something different yet familiar. Something that people can relate to, but just do something refreshing. And that's, I think, how everyone stands out. Like the things, the news show that I do, nobody was doing it. Not many people are doing it now because it's a lot of work. So you've got to be different, put a lot of effort into it, and be consistent. Consistency is key. Like, it is seriously one of the biggest things. If you aren't consistent, your viewers are just going to be like, I don't know when this guy's uploading, and then they kind of forget about you. But if you get like a Monday, try Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and see if that works for you, or Monday and Thursday, and see if that works for you. It depends on how much free time you have to make videos on the side. And work that out, and once people figure out, this guy posts on this day, and this day, and this day, I can watch those videos, and it's only 4 or 5 minutes. That person can probably dedicate that 4 or 5 minutes to you on that certain day. But if you're uploading random time of the day, random day of the week,
do you think it's because people really want the content? Like, they really want to watch something every week about, what they're talking about? Because, I guess it's kind of like watching your favorite show on TV, right? You really want to see what happens next, right?
You know when it's coming. That's the thing. That's why TV is so successful, is because you know when a show's coming. You know when that show's going to be on on, you know. And with the internet, a lot of people upload at just random times. My show is usually between 4 and 5 p.m. Western Australian time. So
What happens when you miss your deadline or you've never done it?
I've missed it like by 30 minutes or so.
Do you get complaints?
Yeah, I get complaints.
Really?
But it's more like them wanting to go to sleep because the east coast of Australia is like 3 hours ahead. It's just like Pacific and Eastern time here.
Yeah.
So it's like because they're younger, and it's sometimes 9 p.m., 9:30. They're like, I've got to go to sleep. My parents aren't letting me on the computer for much longer, and they're all tweeting at me. So like that happens, and I guess they deal with it. But I think it's really important when you first start out, and eventually, like don't get lazy, obviously, but you can miss by 30 minutes, or you can miss a day here and there. I do it because I'm traveling or something, but try to stick with it. Like, be consistent. That's probably one of the biggest things. Consistency and trying to be unique and doing something new.
All right, Champ. What is your YouTube channel so people that don't know about you, that are listening into my show and discovering you, can go and subscribe?
So you can go to youtube.com/Champ Chong, which is ChampChong.
And there's a story behind the name Champ Chong, but you'll have to subscribe to find out.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
Alan Champ will not reveal what it is until you have your 500,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah.
And
or a million.
Or a million. He might push it.
You never know.
Depending. And what is your Twitter account?
It's at Champ Chong.
All right, guys, this has been Out of the Box with Rosie Tran. And don't forget to support us. I am running out of bandwidth and I need money. Please click on the donate button, even if it's a couple bucks. Seriously, I need your help. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe and leave comments. This has been Out of the Box with Rosie Tran.